Hey cats, was ist los? Well, for those of you that don't speak Deutsch or German, what's happening? Had one of the viewers ask me what is the definition of a hardcore biker. So I thought I'd talk about that a little bit today. See if I can clear up some of the air on what a hardcore biker is. We pretty much had defined what a yuppie biker is. We know that. And there's plenty of those to go around these days. A hardcore biker, this is the best definition I can give you. This little diagram right here kind of says it all. I mean, you'll look at this diagram here. On the one side, the biker has all the gear, you know, the Harley jacket, the expensive boots and the bandana and the whole works. And over on the other side, the real hardcore biker, he doesn't have any of that crap. He's got balls. That's about it. He's got blue jeans, he's got a wrench sticking out of his pocket, and he's wearing a white t-shirt. There you go. That's a real biker right there. Let's think about this for a minute. A hardcore biker, what defines a hardcore biker? Number one, you have to have a motorcycle to be a hardcore biker. I don't think you particularly would have to have a Harley Davidson, but you're going to want to have a motorcycle to be a hardcore biker nonetheless. And then number two, you have to be able to ride that motorcycle. You have to be able to know that motorcycle, to be able to handle it very well in all kinds of adverse conditions. You're familiar with all kinds of different weather riding conditions. Not just a fair weather rider like some yuppies that I know. You know, a yuppie's going to keep his motorcycle in the garage all polished up, and he's going to ride it on Sunday afternoon when the weather's up above 60 or 70 degrees. And that's going to be about it. A hardcore biker is going to put some miles on his bike. In fact, it's going to be probably one of the main modes of transportation to a hardcore biker. His motorcycle. A hardcore biker is going to develop a relationship with that bike, pretty much. Okay, the other thing that's going to define a hardcore biker is you're going to want to be able to wrench on your bike, know the ins and outs of it, know how to fix it. Of course, there are some things that you're going to want to have a professional do. But some hardcore bikers do it all. You know, they have the shop set up where they can do everything. But they're not going to be afraid to wrench on their bike. They're not going to be afraid to do above and beyond work, to tear something down and to replace it and to redo the repairs themselves. So they're good mechanics. Okay. So they know how to ride, they put the miles on, and they know how to take care of things when things break. I think to define the personality of a hardcore biker, to put it in simple terms, I think they're a nonconformist. They are the people who are not going to go with the main flow. They're generally independent people. And, you know, they're not afraid to have their own way of thinking and their own way of doing things. They don't conform to the general consensus. I think, you know, a hardcore biker would be more prone to have, you know, the grizzly, longer hair, longer beard. And those kind of things are frowned upon by most employers. So it's going to be hard for somebody like that to hold a job. Or if they do hold a job, it's going to be either self-employed or a job that is in a field where they don't really care what your appearance is like. So hardcore bikers, they do a lot of tattoos too. Now, I'm not saying you have to fit that appearance to be a hardcore biker. I know there's BMW riders that are very clean-cut fellas that own their bikes, that know their bikes, that work on their bikes, and that ride their bikes. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles on these bikes, and they know how to ride them too. Now, I would define that as a hardcore biker just as much as I would that image that you're picturing of the grizzly big old bearded biker, you know, with the tattoos. You can have that image and not be a biker. You can have that image and not be a hardcore biker. But a lot of hardcore bikers have that particular image, you know. They have that look to them, the grizzled look. And because of all the riding they do, their skin is usually kind of leathery. They've been in the sun and the wind and the rain, the weather. And it takes a toll on your complexion. So you can tell those that have been out riding, those hardcore. My wife always likes to say that she can pick out the hardcore bikers when we're on the road. She knows the difference. She'll just say it like it is, you know, Yuppy biker. Oh, he's a real hardcore biker right there, I can tell. You could tell just by their stature, by the way they ride their bike, by the way they handle their bike, by the comfort level that they look. I mean, confidence. They're confident. Now, would you want to run into a hardcore biker? Say you walk into a bar and you sit down at the bar and there happens to be a hardcore biker next to you. What do? Nothing. You know, they're just regular people. They could be the friendliest people in the world. They could be the meanest bastard in the world. It's just, you know, everybody's got their own different personality. So personality has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. It's going to be those first factors there. You got to have a bike. You got to ride the bike. And you got to know the bike and work on the bike. I think those things there make you a hardcore biker. And appearances last. Although it does kind of fit the bill. Appearance is going to be one of the last things there. So you might ask me, hey, Itchy, are you a hardcore biker? Nope, I'm not. Maybe I was at one time, way back when. I used to put a lot of miles on the bike. I used to ride all over the country. I used to do a lot of wrenching on my bike. Had them torn all over the dining room floor from one end to the other, engine parts and everything. That's not really me anymore. I've kind of changed it up a little bit. I still ride, but I don't do the hardcore riding anymore. I don't do the cross-country traveling. You know, I've told you all before, health problems, back and everything else. Just can't do it anymore. And then I separated myself from that culture, which was big in initiating a lot of my riding, just keeping up with my bros, you know, and riding with them and stuff. So it doesn't happen with me anymore. So am I a hardcore biker? Not anymore. Maybe one time I was. You know, and then the other thing I used to always, when I was more in a hardcore riding, boy, I used to really slam the Yuppies and those that trailered their bikes. Because I always said, if you're going to trailer your bike, you're not a biker. Your bike's on a trailer and you're pulling it down the road. That is not being a biker in any way, shape, or form. Sad to say, I tried that once. I tried trailering my bike. And as a result, that scar right there, that dent in my fender, and that scuff right there, that's trailer damage. I won't be doing that again. I'm embarrassed. It was a bad experience, and I would have been better off just to ride the thing. So talk about humiliating. Bike isn't made to be trailered unless it's broke down and you got to take it somewhere to get it repaired. Yeah, so if you're going to trailer your bike, yuppie. If you're going to keep your bike parked in the garage, keep it all shined up and only ride it on the weekend, yuppie. If you're going to go to the Harley store and buy yourself a $299 Harley Davidson jacket with a big Harley Davidson logo on the back, yuppie. The Harley Davidson boots, the jeans, you know, the Harley Davidson head wrap, yuppie. Most hardcore bikers don't seem to follow the that Harley Davidson advertising stuff. They're more prone to just be found in a t-shirt, pair of jeans. A lot of them don't wear chaps when they ride. They just throw on their jeans and go. You don't see them wearing that biker uniform that you'll see a lot of yuppies wearing. So I guess that's about all I have to define a hardcore biker. That's about all I can tell you. Are you a hardcore biker? Maybe you are, but maybe you're not. Is that up to you to determine? I think it shows. You know, you don't need to define yourself. Somebody else could do that for you. They'll let you know. Till next time, you ride hard and you die free.